Yo, dudes, welcome to the Racist Idiot YouTube channel. If racing is in your heart, racing is in your soul, and racing is your religion, that's racism, and you're probably a racist too. So smack that subscribe button. We're going to get into as much racist shenanigans as we possibly can around here. And to kick it off properly, we're going to be heading out to Albuquerque Dragway today to go take my first hand at drag racing. Now, I've been to a drag strip literally once before in my entire life. I went to an audio competition there in my 95 Toyota Previa, had a decent sized system for my day at the time, went and dropped some bass, watched some passes and had a good time, but I did not get to run my car as much as I would have loved to, make no mistake. Just was not an option for me that day. But now times are different. I have a Corvette. I put a clutch and a transmission in it because the thing was a total basket case when I got it. We'll talk more about that later, I'm sure. And went ahead and took it on a road trip and realized on that trip that driving fast in my Corvette was the most important thing in the world. So yeah, I had to get myself into as much racism as I possibly can. And one thing that's cool about living here in Albuquerque is we have lots of access to racing here. The city, for one, is a pretty racist place to live. Just driving around, people always be wanting some, right? That's just a fact of living around here. Then we have Albuquerque Dragway, and then we have the Sucre Circuit for road racing, which we're going to be visiting later on, and several times more for sure. And that's one thing that's, again, really cool about that is the open access that we have to that here. So we're going to keep it as educational as possible on this channel. We're going to go to tech inspection after we get checked in initially, see what all that stuff's about, because I have no idea. We'll go ahead and watch some passes, and then hopefully we'll learn enough to go ahead and put in some hits of our own and get some stuff cracking. Now, this is going to be, again, the launch of the channel here, and to kick it off properly, going to be doing a wicked awesome giveaway. So stick around to the whole video. We're going to be giving something away to kick the channel off properly. But the Idiot's Guide to Racism begins now with drag racing. We're here at Albuquerque Dragway for the very first time. The Fisher Price, my very first time actually drag racing. We're rolling up to it right now. And I want to document as much of the process as I can because I've never gone through any of this. I've gotten some advice this way, I've gotten some advice that way. I'm excited to see what actually is what's what and not what people have told me. Just find out firsthand. I'm going to record as much as I can for you guys. Ideally, all of it. Very first time at the drag strip. What's your name?
Rachel.
Rachel, all right. Well, thanks a bunch, Rachel, for bringing me in. All right, so it's 30 bucks, right?
It is. You're gonna run?
I'm gonna run. That's what I'm here to do.
Perfect.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. What do I do from here?
So you're gonna head straight after this bends at the second barrel. You'll
Okay.
take a left. Once you can't go straight anymore, you'll take another left.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Have fun.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we are waiting for David, who came up and gave me a very friendly introduction to go ahead and start the tech inspection process. I'm excited for this. Excellent. Very first time out drag racing, so I've been a car guy for a long time, but...
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
But yeah, it's the first time I've ever hit the track, so I'm excited. I know I did not bring a very fast car in the grand scheme of things.
Well, this car looks like untouched.
It's, yeah, long tubes and an intake, that's it. Got to start somewhere. I did put an LS7 clutch and a new transmission in. That was more on the repair side of things.
It's all fabricated. Jason, how fast do you think you're gonna go? ET?
If I had to estimate, if I do a 13.5, I'm going to be pretty stoked.
13.5? Okay, I'll let you know right now. If you run 13.99 helmet, okay?
Have a helmet in the car.
Okay, good.
Yep.
And that's about it.
Okay.
It looks like you're missing one lug there, buddy.
I am.
How come?
Honestly, I've never had it. I keep forgetting to order a new set, and of all the stuff that I've gone through, that was the one thing that I didn't think about.
All right.
I drove about 11,000 miles on it, if it makes you feel any differently about it.
Yeah, get a new lug.
I promise you I will have one the next time I come out.
Was it a lock you took off?
What's that?
It was a lock, wasn't
I think it was a lock, yeah.
it? What number you like, Curtis?
I'm assuming the common ones are taken.
What? Yes.
Let's try it.
Everybody likes 3 or 69. What do you like?
I like 420 if it's available.
420, you got it.
Hell yeah. Sweet.
You want to race about?
Yeah. Sweet. Sweet. Oh, let's try to spin up too much.
I'm going to tell you right now, because these rear ends are not that strong, okay?
Okay.
Don't take it up to 6,000 RPMs and dump that clutch. Okay?
Oh, I had no intention of that. I figured launching
Just
around
slip the
3.
clutch a little bit. You're missing a leg, so just slip the clutch a little bit and go, okay?
Okay, thank you for the advice, David.
Good.
Excellent. So this is going to serve as our first dose of idiocy on the channel, hence the name, Racist Idiot. But I've been 19 lug nuts out of 20 the entire time I've owned the car. Of all the massive amount of stuff that I've done to the vehicle, I just never got around to putting on that one lug nut. And I was not lying to Dave when I said I'd have one when I came back immediately, but unfortunately it turns out the wheel stud itself was what was stripped out and why it was missing. And I just have that lug nut now in my glove box instead of installed as it should be, because I haven't torn apart the rear brakes yet to go ahead and replace that wheel stud, which will happen soon enough. But David is a really chill dude, lets me go ahead and run my car, gives me some quick pointers of how to run this thing without blowing it up. And yeah, is really interested immediately in seeing my progress. Every time I see David, he's always asking about how my last pass was, gives me some pointers on how to progress. And it's really cool because anytime you see the car community that's like actually there and it's not just internet haters and stuff like that, everybody wants to see everybody gets better. It's like a real iron sharpen iron kind of vibe. So yeah, that's one thing that's really, really dope. So let's go ahead, go up to the line, watch some runs, and see if we can figure out what's going on. All right, I'm gonna come up here to the line, watch a couple of runs, and kind of get a feel for what's going on and learn some stuff. All right, this guy is a stick car and he's evidently the one to watch. So let's see this guy get down and take a look. After watching the Challenger run, I decided it was time to go and get my first pass in. I'd seen a manual transmission car in action. Again, he was the one to observe, as people had told me. Watched him put up a low 14 score. Watched him bang the rev limiter on his 1-2 shift. And at this point, I felt confident enough to go ahead and take my stab at it. I was waiting for my boy Gordy to show up, but he hadn't quite made it yet, and we were running out of daylight, so it was definitely time to get that first hit in, so up the line we go. Did a drag race. Woo! I'm guessing this is probably where I get my time slip at. Sweet. All right, let's see what my first ever ET is. What do we got? I can't see it. 14.6357. All right, excellent, thank you. So, obviously got a lot to learn about drag racing. I'm a full 2 seconds slower than the user manual, you know. That launch was pretty sloppy, you know. Like, I've launched my car on the street better a million times than that. But hey, learning curve. The guy told me to floor it on the third yellow light, and that's more or less what I did. I needed to launch it, not floor it. I'm stoked about that, though. We drag racing now. So my first run is in the bag, 14.6, 103 miles an hour. Now, I know that I'm capable of doing more. I actually completely botched my first run for sure. I squealed my tires pretty good, or spun them rather really well, and I upshifted way too soon. So the lady on the motorcycle next to me actually had way better times through everything. I had a better reaction time, and she roasted me off the line because of how bad my my launch was. So lots of room for improvement. I'm really excited to be out here, that's for sure. I'm gonna come up here. I'm waiting for my buddy Chris to show up so he can, you know, run me through some more stuff, get this thing more dialed in. And I'm gonna watch some more runs in the meantime. The Camaro's pretty consistent. He's running a pretty similar time to what I just ran, so I wanna beat that time. I'm interested in this Subaru. He's got no weight on it. Trunk lid's cut out, all the interior's all stripped. This thing looks light. Over here now. .03 reaction time. Man, that thing was fast, loud. That rang my ears. I like that. Man, that thing is violent, bro. The Grand National or whatever, the G-body. Jeez, that Beamer's getting 888 at 155, man. Holy crap, that thing is fast. At this point, I had waited quite a while for my boy Gordy, aka Chris, to show up. Unfortunately, to no avail at this time, so I went ahead, knocked out another pass, go ahead and try to shave down that ET some more. All right, second time slip of the day. We got a .26 reaction time, which I'm really stoked about for my second time out. 0 to 60 foot time, way better. Yeah, down to a 13.9 at 102, and there is definitely room for improvement there. I forgot to roll up my windows, which definitely helps aerodynamics a ton. And then I also should have not upshifted from third to fourth at the end there, so I let off the throttle, which is what murdered my trap speed. So lots of room for improvement. All right, my heterosexual life partner Chris is over here getting his Tahoe tech inspected because he's gonna go up and do a run. We're gonna be some LS brothers together. But yeah, he's got the former police Tahoe equipped with that iron block 5.3 LS. Ain't no joke. Let's see what this thing will do. One function of the Racist Idiot channel is going to be my journey as a videographer, and sometimes I'm going to definitely have some failures on there, like when I completely 1000% failed to turn on any cameras before I raced my very bestest friend in the world for the very first time. And yeah, didn't get anything on that run there. Now, fortunately, I recorded the aftermath of that, so we got that going for us. But yeah, Gordy and I at this point would take turns racing this GMT 800 while I'm just trying to play Freebird because I got a banging audio system in the vet, and I'm always trying to play with it, maybe even when I shouldn't. Uh-oh, we're gonna have ourselves a little regular traffic race right here. Gordy got himself the police cruiser, former sheriff, gonna line up with the old Silverado. Dang, did you see how epically I failed that task?
Yes.
So let me give you the play-by-play how that happened for me. So I'm in the car realizing that we were already staged.
Oh.
As I'm about to press play off Freebird, the fucking lights start Christmas tree, and I'm like, I have to launch right now. So I leave with a perfect reaction time, like regular traffic. You did a 14.5 at 103.
There you go.
Regular traffic race, come on, Gordy. Light him up. Yeah, 0.38 reaction. Get him, Gordy. Get him, boy! That is Gordy with the 17.65 at 79. He dropped a 10 since his last run. Outstanding. Uh-oh. Let's see what this man's gonna do. And he left on time. Perfect reaction time on that Mopar. Perfect. .77 at 94. Perfect reaction time. That's what that Dodge will do. All right, getting ready to go up for my next pass. Kick some ass.
That guy changed tires.
Did he?
Yep.
What did he run before?
It's probably a 11-second car.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It sounds like an 11-second car.
My man Scott here. Have you met Scott yet?
No.
Okay. Scott's the reason I have a vet. He's the guy that I worked with that had the C5.
Oh, okay.
That showed me up and made me have to get one. What, motherfucker?
How's it going?
Good. So I did a 14.6 on my first pass.
Okay.
I have not had a trap speed less than 100 miles an hour.
Okay.
I had a perfect reaction time when I was so distracted because I was trying to play Freebird, which I got queued up now.
You got a 0 on the reaction time?
Yeah, dude. I launched with a perfect reaction time, like on accident while I was distracted. I fucked up my launch so bad that it negated it. But yeah, I'm gonna do a good pass now. Yeah, dude, my best run so far was a 13.9, so now I have to wear a helmet. It's not optional.
Once you get into 13s, you have to.
Yep. I'm in the 13s now, brother.
That's good, dude. Okay.
Helmet territory.
Helmet territory. Not just because I'm tarded either.
This ain't no special helmet. This one is fast helmet.
Fast
I
helmet.
looked up the average for my car, and they said it's 13, so we'll see.
That's seat level.
Yeah, we lose a ton of power up here.
This is catless and headers. So.
Can I get my drinking straw in here?
The more you can lean a car out at this altitude, the faster they get.
Yeah, I got to get my work done just a little bit, and I'll get out here. I want to give it.
Oh, bro. I like totally Bluetooth my sway bar link, dude. Like, yeah.
What?
I'll have to show you a picture of it, dude.
This is not the rear one.
Yeah.
It's the rear one affects traction.
But yeah, I completely Bluetooth my driver's side sway bar link, dude. Broke it right at the ball joint. Not a great run. Red lighted. Gotta check the other side of the reaction time, I guess. So there was a lot going on there. Let's go ahead and break it down. I'm obviously just driving pretty distracted there. More focused on queuing up some music instead of hitting the tree the way that I'm supposed to. So that was way more idiocy than racism, which is not what we're trying to accomplish here. My amplifier also cut out right at the beginning of the hit, so I'm over here toggling my deck off, trying to figure out what's going on with that. That was a ring terminal that I left loose when I removed an inverter from a road trip, so that was also pretty idiotic of me to do. And then, you know, David, the friendly neighborhood tech inspector, did specifically tell me that you are going to need to red light that thing. Find out what the other side of that perfect launch looks like. Push that failure point and see what you have to do. It is a test and tune. So we're going to go ahead and take that lesson and apply it to that next hit down the drag strip. Gordy, give me a recordy. Record this. All right. Let's try to do this one right. No music playing or other shenanigans. That was wheel hop. I'm losing to a Raptor. I'm losing to a Ford pickup. I'm still racing after the race is over. That's my runs are getting. She must be getting hot or something. My runs are getting slower. So as you can see there, I blatantly got chopped by a Ford Raptor. I had a 14.04 second ET versus his 12.53. Now I did have a 0.08 reaction time. Now, lesson learned from that red light. I dropped that tree as I was supposed to, but I'm still not even doing the best time that I have of the night. And my man Gordy is going to tell us why.
You're shifting like they teach you to shift in driver's ed.
And there you have it. I shift like I'm in driver's ed class. So let's go ahead and take that lesson there and apply it to our next hit down the drag strip.
That one felt better. Alrighty then. Thank you much. What do we got? Hey, 13.88. This is our best time yet. Yeah. I gotta say, something about drag mates just makes you talk a little bit more redneckish. Hell yeah, brother. Best time of the day. 0.1 reaction time. Now, I've been bragging about how I have lightning fast reaction times a decade before I ever thought of setting wheel on a drag strip. So the fact that I'm out here just clicking out these fast reaction times is making me really happy. We're in the 13s. Let's see if we can get one more 13-second pass out before the night's through. They got about 10 more minutes before they close it down.
At this point, the GoPro is dead. Trying to squeak in one last pass. Don't even have time to hand a phone or anything to anybody, but something really stupid is about to go down. I wasn't paying no attention at this point, you know, idiotic, maybe even a little retarded at this point.
Now that guy way faster than me. That's a better shift. That's a better shift. Come on, baby. Oh, I forgot to close my hood. Oh no! Man, my drag racing buddy was supposed to tell me that my hood was still open. I'm not very happy with Chris Gordy League now right now.
And now Mr. Captain representing the hood, throwing it up in the air, you know. That's the end of my night. It's time for me and Gordy and my boy Scott to have a quick moment together, pack this thing out, and hit the dang road.
Alright, first drag racing event in the books. The GoPro is dead. The helmet cam is pretty much useless on its own, so I'm back to recording with my jank phone, and anybody that's watching, I'm mad appreciative, that's for sure. I can tell you what, that was a thrill that I should have indulged in much sooner with any car that I had access to at any point in time. I should have been out there with my minivans. And I say that with an S. I've had multiple minivans, and I'll still have more in my day. But what an amazing captain event. Nice view of Albuquerque as we leave in. My accent is approximately going to be 15% more redneck, at least for the rest of the night, but maybe permanently. Maybe that's what happens when you come out here and drag race your Chevrolet. You're just going to talk like this a little bit more. That's what it's about. Yeah.
Baby Tiger and I are going to close out this beautiful first episode of The Racist Idiot with a few last notes, right? So, lots of lessons learned there. The first lesson is accept that when you're a rookie, you don't know much and you have a lot to learn, right? The first stage of correcting things is understanding that you have a problem. And I also have a problem with having a lot of cats, and they're going to definitely want to jump into some videos there. Come on, Raw. So, lots and lots of stuff to learn. You know, need to get my shifting a lot faster. That was one of the biggest things to work on. Probably spend less time trying to play Leonard Skinner and more time trying to race. You know, this is the racist idiot, not the Leonard Skinner idiot. So, that said, they do kind of go hand in hand, but let's worry about getting dialed in. Now, car audio is a big passion of mine. All of my cars have massive sound systems in them. I do audio competitions on a regular basis. That is something that I've been down with for a very long time. And at the end of the day, I'm always going to be down with it. But I have to focus on getting good at the racing first. And that's a tough lesson to learn. So I'm going to go ahead, hone in and focus in on that more. Other than that, just getting out there more, getting more seat time, getting more repetition. You only get good at the things that you practice at. You're never going to find your skill set in your comfort zone. You have to keep pushing your limits. And that's the only way that you're going to get better at things. So that said, I want to push the limits of my videography, and I want to push the limits of my YouTube channel. So my beautiful kitty cats are over here squabbling it out. I want to go ahead and do the giveaway. Let's get this channel to 250 subscribers, and I'm going to give away this beautiful Mark IV Supra as driven by Brian O'Connor in the original Fast and Furious movie. For the low price of a subscribe, you can get yourself entered in for a chance to win this amazing Mark IV Supra in this scorching bright orange color with the livery as presented in the original Fast and Furious movie. So dudes, everybody that's been following along, I appreciate y'all so much. Remember to subscribe. I'm going to say that like 8 million times so I can try to get 8 million subscribers as fast as I can, right? But thank you guys so much. Stay tuned for more episodes of The Racist Idiot. We ain't going nowhere. We're going actually everywhere to race as much stuff as we can. We're going to burn the block down. So stay tuned. The Racist Idiot is on site. Peace out.